The morning after the ceasefire, Gaza smelled of dust and sea salt. The sky was pale and tired, as if even the sun had forgotten how to rise without smoke. Streets once filled with sirens now held only footsteps, slow, careful, unbelieving. Amina stepped outside her building for the first time in weeks. The walls were cracked, the windows gone, but the silence was stranger than any explosion. She looked at her hands. They trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of surviving. In her pocket, she carried a photo of her sons. One was gone. The other was waiting for bread somewhere in the city. She walked past a row of buildings with their faces torn open. A child's toy car lay in the rubble. Someone had written, "We are still here," across a broken wall. The words looked like a promise, or maybe a warning. At the hospital, Dr. Farid was still working. The ceasefire hadn't stopped the bleeding yet. He stitched wounds by candlelight, his voice calm, his eyes empty. When he stepped outside for a moment, he saw Amina standing by the gate, holding her photo. They didn't speak. There were no words left big enough for grief. A few blocks away, Youssef, a young photographer, climbed to a rooftop with his old camera. He had photographed war all his life, but this morning was different. He wanted to capture quiet, the faces of people learning how to hope again. He took pictures of women sweeping dust from doorsteps, of children chasing each other in the street, of a man fixing a water pipe with bare hands. Every click of the shutter felt like resistance. At noon, aid trucks rolled in. People lined the roads, not cheering, not clapping, just watching. Some cried softly. Others simply stood in the sun, letting the warmth touch their faces for the first time in months. Amina found her son in that crowd, holding a loaf of bread like treasure. She fell to her knees and held him close. He whispered, "Mama, can we go home now?" She didn't know what to say. Their home was gone. But she nodded anyway. "Yes," she said. "Home." That night, the city glowed with candles instead of fire. The sea whispered beyond the ruins. From a shattered balcony, Youssef took one last photo, Gaza under starlight, bruised but breathing. Amina sang softly to her son as he fell asleep on the floor beside her. Farid closed the hospital door and whispered a prayer for the ones he couldn't save. And in the still air between them, the city exhaled. Not victory, not peace, but a small, trembling breath, the sound of life returning.